YouTubers, Jemai Cruz here with a quick video titled How Psychic Readings Can Help You Become a Better Spellcaster. So there's a lot of people who do magic, and also they do readings, whether it's tarot cards, whether it's the cowrie shells, whether it's divination systems such as the Odu or the I Ching, or if you're scrying. In this video, I'm going to explain to you how you can use psychic readings to increase the results of your magic, so stay tuned. That is important to understand is that divinations have been around since basically the beginning of civilized societies. Virtually all cultures all across the world have some type of divination system. You had the Chinese, ancient Chinese civilizations that had the I Ching, and of course you had Western African civilizations such as the Bantu people who had the Ifa Yoruba divination system known as the Odu. Okay, and so if you watch any type of Greek mythology or read any type of Greek mythology, you know that they've had the oracles where they had young ladies or sometimes men who were able to predict the future. Okay, and so from there you have people who worked in Mesopotamia and they began working with astrological signs, patterns, movements about how the earth moves around the sun, how the other planets move around the sun, so on and so forth. Okay, and so it's important to understand when you are thinking about psychic readings, because there's people who ask me, are psychic readings fake? I don't believe in that stuff, and da 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 da. But there is a correlation between psychic readings and particularly divination systems such as the Odu and the I Ching and statistics. People don't like when I start talking about the sciences and the hard sciences, but I just want people to understand that there was a culture behind all of these things. Even if you're someone who's involved in hoodoo and it's not really part of a religion, or if you're someone who is a pagan or someone who is, kind of dibbles and dabbles in this, these were all religions before. Very rich, very powerful, very magical religions. And so when they did these things, they had a way of basically being able to describe the sciences and being able to describe the math and being able to, explain different aspects of nature. All right, and so I don't want people to think that this is just folklore, and so that's why I kind of go into the science so people can just be like, okay, well, it's not just superstition. We're not just people who are doing these things because we're superstition. There's actually a real culture and science behind it. So again, it's long-winded, but if you're going to watch my channel, you're going to understand the correlation between magic and science. You're going to understand that we people of color, are not superstitious. We actually had a real sophisticated civilized culture. Okay. And so when you look at things like the Odu, the Odu is an incredibly sophisticated divination system, okay? And it has, I believe, 256 verses. And the divination system is powerful because it does model the actual element of statistics. And so statistics, if you ever say statistics, people take samples, and then from the samples they're able to do surveys and then predict basic behaviors based on those samples. Okay, and so that's what the Odu does. The Odu actually takes information, but not from samples of people, but information from the collective consciousness. It actually takes the information from the collective consciousness, and then from there it begins to discern patterns, certain patterns. Okay, and then once they study the patterns, they can begin to predict future events based on past performances or past behaviors. Yes, a lot like astrology, and yes, a lot like statistics. Okay, and so what happens is that everything that happened in the world was absorbed into the Odu. All right, and so when you go to a Babalawo and you go and you get your reading, he would do your reading and he would tell you, listen, this is what I see happening. However, you can stop this from happening if you make this sacrifice, or you can stop this from happening if you appeal to this oration or this deity. Okay, So why does that happen? Why would a Babalawo tell you, listen, you have to make these sacrifices, or you have to go ahead and appeal to these deities or ratios? Or it may be people who do tarot cards, cowrie shells. I'm just working with the Odu because I have studied how it works. So all the other divination systems are beyond my knowledge base. So please, if you feel as if you want to leave other types of comments about other divination systems in the comment section, that's fine too. Okay. And so basically what happens is that Babalawo is telling you the probability of a certain outcome happening. And he's telling you that based on historic information of people who were in the same situation before. Example. Say, for example, you go and you get a reading from the Babalawo, you're working with the Odu, and he tells you, listen, there's a chance that your husband might leave you. And you're like, okay, and the chance is that he might leave you. There's a chance that your husband might leave you, okay? And based on all of our historic information from the collective consciousness of women who have been in this situation before, 50% have left. Now, they're not going to break it down like 50% or whatever, but the whole thing is it's still a probability. And they're going to say 50% has left. However, what we have found, throughout this is that when we made a sacrifice to the beautiful Oshun, these women were able to keep their husbands and save their marriage. Okay? So I want you to understand something about divination systems, especially divination systems that are sophisticated as the West African Odu. It's all based on probabilities. And the reason why it's based on probabilities is because everything already exists. Okay, the African people were incredibly involved and sophisticated in their magic, and they realized that everything already exists. There's no such thing as the past. There's no such thing as the future. There's no such thing as the present. And so when you go and you get that divination, you go to that diviner, he's opening up and seeing everything. And he's looking at your situation and comparing your situation to other people who have been in the same situations. To the Odu, and you sit there and you're working with a Babalawo, you're working with a high priest, an Ifa. What he's going to do is he's going to start to analyze your problem, diagnose your problem, and then from there he's going to do further research using the Odu, and he's going to be able to compare your situation to all the other people who were in similar situations. And then he can say, something, out of all those people in similar situations, they did this and it seemed to work. It's exactly the same process as statistics. Okay, it's exactly the same process. Don't let people tell you that this stuff is superstition. I'm tired of people telling me it's superstition. No, it's not superstition. These are very, very, very sophisticated concepts that have evolved into sciences and hard mathematics. Okay, and so everything already exists. Everything already exists. The past, present, and future already exists. If you have a problem, there is a solution. If you're sick, there's a solution for you to get better. If you don't have money, there's a way for you to get money. Everything already exists. Okay? And so here's the issue. And this is the reason why a lot of people don't read the tarot cards right, or don't read cowrie shells right, or don't read the Odu right, is that they don't take the proper samples. They don't take the proper samples. They take just a small segment that's not reflective of the general population, that's not reflective of the collective consciousness. And then, like in statistics, the information is going to be skewed, it's going to be wrong. Okay, and so that's why when you start going into divination systems and you start looking at a lot of the priestesses who are working with the Odu, they go into a trance because they're allowing themselves to tap into the I Am presence, the highest presence. And what they're doing is they're opening up their space, connecting with their soul, their body, and their spirit, aligning them as one, and they're allowing themselves to tap into the collective consciousness to get all the information. Okay? To get all the information. All right? And so from there, what they're doing is they're explaining to you how you can manifest. Okay? What you can do to create your future. They're not predicting the future. What they're doing is telling you what you have to do to manifest and create your future. All right, so when you talk about different types of divinations, there's two types of divinations. There's people who tell you the future, and there's people who help you create your future. And they're going to tell you, listen, this is what has happened, and you have to go ahead and make this sacrifice. You have to go ahead and make this offering. And if you do that, then this will be in your favor. Okay? They are helping you to create your future. They're helping you to create and manifest your magic. It's different. Okay? It's different, and they're actually allowing themselves to tap into that powerful, powerful presence. All right, who do this? Mediums do it. There's people who are very intuitive. There's clairvoyants who do it, and they're really, really good. And they're able to actually just tap into this I am presence, this spirit of oneness. They're able to get the information that they need to get it back to you so they can help you take the proper steps to manifesting your future. I just wanted to explain to you really briefly how different divination systems and psychic readings can help you, especially if you're someone who wants to do magic and you're not quite sure if it's the right thing for you, or if you have to put certain types of energies into it. You can start working with diviners. Like I said, I'm not really familiar with tarot cards or cowrie shells or anything like that. I do have some familiarity with the Odu system, and I do have familiarity with mediumship because I am a medium. So those are the two things that I can speak on. And I'm not initiated, so I would recommend that you find a Babalao if you choose to do that, to do your reading for you. And then, of course, if you want to see a medium, of course, that's me. That said, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video. If you want to read this article in its entirety, you're more than welcome to do that at my website, clairvoyantmagic.com. If you like this video, I would definitely appreciate a thumbs up. If you have a comment, you can leave them in the comment section. And if you want more great information as far as learning about magic and divinations and readings, I would love for you to sign on to my email list where I give out free spells as well as free books. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video. I'm Yamai Cruz. Peace out.